coming up in today's video. Join us as we hike Kingley Vale up to the summit of Bow Hill to Devils Humps. Stories of Viking battles, giant ancient yew trees, and, in more modern times, training for World War I and II. Good morning from Kingley Vale. This is a rather special one on the South Downs. It was one of the first nature reserves. We've got a really ancient yew tree forest, and on the top there's Iron Age burial sites called the Devils Humps. So this walk's a moderate 5.5 miles. Just down there is West Stoke Car Park, which is free. There's a donation box so you can put a little change in there. Just helps with the upkeep of the nature reserve. You walk this well trodden trail going between farm fields, which brings you up to a wooden gate, which is where the trail officially starts. This is the pathway we'll be returning on later, and you can also go up around the side up to Bow Hill this way, but we're going to go through the forest, keep east on the pathway, which is going to take us through the ancient yew forests. It's a cool sculpture over here as well. So it reads, "The nightingale sings all night long, and the cold crystal moon looks down, and as the yew tree spreads out its giant arms over the sleepers." So keeping to the eastern edge of the pathway, as you come up towards Bow Hill on the Vale bottom, you come to the yew tree forest. Some of these trees are rumoured to be some of the oldest in Britain, dating back 500 years. There are some stories of it possibly being 900 to 2000 years old. I believe one of the widest trunks that here is 5 metres wide. Let's go and explore this mystical forest. During the Great Storm of 1987, many yew trees here were blown over. A lot of them stayed rooted, and with the branches going into the ground, they've actually spawned new trees. Quite incredible. So at this fork in the pathway, you go onto the yew tree trail. Keep him right. Kingley Vale actually has the largest group of yew trees found anywhere in Europe. Most were cut down during medieval times, as they were a great source of strong coniferous wood, actually being preferred to make longbows. Another yew tree taken down by the recent storms that have blown through the south coast, but hopefully, like the ones I showed you back there, in the ground to make it re-root and give growth to new yew trees. Looks like there's been lots of people out over the Christmas period enjoying themselves making dens. Yew branches are perfect for that. They're so entangled and intertwined. Yeah, good fun for the kids. So after a little while, you'll come to the official start of the forest trail. And you take a right here and head inside. So local folklore says that at night time the trees come alive and they hold hands and dance. You can see the trees do have arms. And you could almost imagine them coming to life. Sheer size of some of these trees is absolutely incredible. It's actually really hard to date the trees because as trees get older, they get hollow on the inside. So you don't get the rings that you generally get. Look at this one behind me here, look. They're so gnarly. It's hard to believe that something that could look like that is still alive. But it is. You also get amazing features like this natural archway. It's incredible. The branches are so intertwined, it's almost like being in a cave. So the local storms have definitely caused a fair bit of damage. Trees down all over a lot of the pathway. So keep on following the yew tree trail. It goes on for about 1 kilometre. So this yew tree behind me is known as the grandfather yew. And folklore says this was the first original tree that allowed all the other trees to grow. As you can see, the branches go into the ground, and that's what's created the forest. Gotta love folklore. This part here is what's known as the Vale. There's 2 different ways to go up to the top, up to Bow Hill. You can go up the side here, or you can come up this way, which is the way we're going to go. And this takes you up the Devil's Staircase up to the top of Bow Hill. So this vale here was used during World War I and later again in World War II as a rifle range and for ordnance. Earlier in this century, they came here and cleared up to 6,000 munitions. And as you walk round the top of the vale, you'll see signs saying live firing and keep out. A lot of that is due to the fact that there's still undiscovered bombs in amongst this vale. So don't wander too far off the track. So these are the Devil's Staircase. It's a right old slog. Doesn't look much from when you're on the vale bottom, but when you start climbing it, it's enough to get you out of breath. Once you reach the top of that staircase, you take a right, and that's what takes you up around the top to Bow Hill and the Devils Humps. So these yew trees, as you head up towards Bow Hill, are much younger, but still show all the same characteristics. I can only imagine what these will look like in 600 or 700 years' time. At the end of the yew tree tunnel, you come to a fork in the pathway. You want to take this route. This one takes you back down and was the pathway when we were in the vale that was going off right. So yeah, keep left on this bit. As you come along this pathway, which is after the yew tree tunnel, you can see it's surrounded by miles and miles of farmlands. And the whole of Kingley Vale is of scientific interest due to its fauna and flora. There's rare birds of prey here, red-tailed kite and buzzards, plus the green woodpecker. Also, of the 59 types of butterfly that are found, 39 of them reside here in Kingley Vale. So yeah, as a nature reserve, it sure does hold a lot of gems. Unfortunately, the uphill isn't done after the Devil's Staircase, as this part, the chalk hill, is probably more difficult. Still going. So when you come to this plateau at the top and it goes off in 5 directions, you want to take this path. This one takes you to Goose Hill, which is an ancient settlement. But it's really just a clearing, there's not much to look at there, so we're not going to go there today. So this is the pathway that takes you up to Bow Hill. So nowhere near as boggy up here as it was at Harting Down. If you want to see that mud fest, I'll leave a link here for it. That was a good walk, I enjoyed that one. First you head onto the top, start seeing more pine trees interspersed with yew trees. There's a huge beech forest here as well, which actually runs right down to Goose Hill. It's all a little bit barren and bare through the winter months obviously, but during the spring and summer, beautiful colours all through here. So as you approach Bow Hill from the east, heading west, you'll come across the Devils Humps. These Bronze Age humps date back to 800 before Christ. The two main ones sit right on the top of Bow Hill.
So the Devils Humps are also known as the King's Graves, and they're said to be the burial site of Viking lords defeated by local men in the 9th century. Legend has it that all the yew trees were planted on the graves of the slain Viking warriors, and their ghosts haunt the vales at night.
The woodland up here is just absolutely stunning. This is a pathway that takes you off of Bow Hill. You can literally see the light at the end of the tunnel. So Kingley Vale is a nature reserve that's nestled between Hampshire and West Sussex, and like many reserves in the area, is actually part of the South Downs National Park. So after coming down that long winding pathway from the top of Bow Hill, find ourselves back at the beginning again. So that's it, that's the end of the trail. Just this half a kilometre walk back to the car park now. Yeah, it's a very popular walk. If you want it to yourself or a little bit quieter, definitely come early or late. Very popular with dog walkers. So this is part of our local walks we're doing, and if you haven't seen Harting Down yet, put a link up there for it. We're going to sign off here and have the last little part of the walk to ourselves. So if you enjoyed watching, please give us a big thumbs up and a share. And if you want to see more content from us coming up, then please subscribe. Take care, guys.